Good day, everyone. Welcome to our exploration of patterns and algebra. In this lesson, we'll dive into the fascinating world of how patterns repeat and how we can use algebra to represent them. We'll learn to recognize patterns in numbers, shapes, and even everyday situations. Then we'll use variables and equations to express these patterns in a concise and powerful way. Alright, let me introduce myself first. So, my name is Reika Cuervo, and I'm joined by my co reporter Geraldine Villares. So, by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to calculate the slope of a line given 2 points, and then rewrite a linear equation in slope intercept form. Third one, determine the equation of a line given 2 points. Factor a polynomial expression completely. Last one, simplify a rational expression. Why patterns and algebra matter? Understanding patterns and algebra is crucial for success in math and beyond, laying the foundation for higher level math and critical thinking skills. So these are the key points to remember. Patterns are everywhere. Look for patterns in numbers, shapes, nature, and even music. Second one is variables represent unknowns. Variables like x or y allow us to represent unknown values in equations. And next is equations show relationships. Equations express relationships between the variables and can be used to solve for unknowns. And then algebraic thinking is a powerful tool. It helps us understand the world around us. Let's move on to the first question. Number 1. A line passes through the points 1, 2, and 4, 5. What is the slope of this line? A. M equals 5. B. M equals 6. C. M equals 1. So the answer is letter C, M equals 1. To find the slope of the line passing through the points 1, 2, and 4, 5, we use the slope formula. We have M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we will going to substitute the given points. M equals 5 minus 2 divided by 4 minus 1 equals 3 over 3. So we have 1. Therefore, the slope of the line passing through the points 1, 2, and 4, 5 is 1. Let us go ahead to the second question. We have convert the equation 3x plus 2y equals 12 to slope-intercept form y equals mx plus b. A. Y equals negative 3 halves x plus 6. B. Y equals 1 half x plus 6. C. Y equals 3/4 x plus 6. So the answer is letter A. Y equals negative 3 halves x plus 6. So here is a breakdown why we got that answer. So first thing to do is we need to isolate y on one side of the equation. This will give us the form y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So the first step is subtract 3x from both sides. This will move the x term to the right side of the equation. So negative 3x plus 2y minus 3x equals 12 minus 3x. So negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 12. Step 2, divide both sides by 2. So this will isolate y on the left side. So negative 2y divided by 2 equals negative 3x plus 12 divided by 2. So we have negative y equals negative 3 halves x plus 6. Therefore, the equation 3x plus 2y equals 12 in slope-intercept form is y equals negative 3 halves x plus 6. Question number 3. Find the equation of the line passing through the points 2, 3, and 5, 7. So the answer for question number 3 is letter B. Y equals 4/3 x plus 1/3. To find the equation of a line, we need its slope and y-intercept. So for slope, the slope is calculated as change in y divided by change in x, using the points 2, 3, and 5, 7. The slope is 7 minus 3 divided by 5 minus 2. So we have 4/3. For y-intercept, we can use the point slope form. Y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1 with one of the points and the slope we just found. Plugging in 2, 3, and 4/3, we get y minus 3 equals 4/3 times x minus 2. Solving for y gives us y equals 4/3 x plus 1/3. So therefore, the equation of the line passing through the points 2, 3, and 5, 7 is y equals 4/3 x plus 1/3. So I'm glad I could help with this topic, and Miss Geraldine will be taking over the remaining discussions. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Geraldine Villares, and I am also discussing the quarter 1. Since Rika is already discussed the 3 questions, and then the remaining 2 questions is I will be the one who discuss. So let's start. The 4th questions is all about factoring by the greatest common monomial. So the question is, write 28x cubed z squared minus 14x squared y cubed plus 36yz to the power of 4. So the answer of these questions is B. So when we factor the greatest common monomial or a single term that divides every term in a polynomials. So once identified, you factor it out from each term of the polynomial. So the first step that we are going to do is determine the number of terms. So there are 3 terms of that question. So 28x cubed z squared and 14x squared y cubed and 36yz to the power of 4. And then the step 2 is determine the GCF of the numerical coefficients. So the numerical coefficient here is 28, 14, and 36. So in the next column is we need to factor it out. So the factor of 18 is 1, 2, 4, 7, 14, and 28. And then the factor of 14 is 1, 2, 7, 14. And then the 36 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. So the common factors of the 3, which is 1 and 2. And then the GCF is 2. So next, step 3 is determine the GCF of the variables. So the GCF of the variables is the one with the less exponent and is the common to every term. So as we can see, there is a less exponent, which is y. So the GCF of the variables is 1. So, step 4. Find the product of GCF of the numerical coefficient and the variables. So, the GCF of the coefficient is 2, and then the variables is 1. So, we need to multiply it. So, 2 times 1 equals 2. Next, step 5 is find the other factor by dividing each term of the polynomials. So, the GCMF of 28x cubed z squared minus 14x squared y cubed plus 36yz to the power of 4 is 2. So, we need to divide it by 2. So, 28x cubed z squared divided by 2 minus 14x squared y cubed divided by 2 plus 36yz to the power of 4. So, in the 28, we need to factor it out. So, 2 times 14 is 28. So, that's the factor of 28 is 14. Then, copy the x cubed z squared over 2. Then, minus the factor of 14 is 7. So, 2 times 7, copy the x squared y cubed. Plus, the 36 is the factor of 36 is 18. So, 2 times 18. So, copy the y, copy the z to the power of 4. So, we need to cancel that 2. So, the answer is 14x cubed z squared minus 7x squared y cubed plus 18 yz to the power of 4. The complete factor of 28x cubed z squared minus 14x squared y cubed plus 36yz to the power of 4 is 2 or 14x squared z squared minus 7x squared y cubed plus 18yz to the power of 4. So that's the answer of the questions number 4. Next questions is about simplifying rational algebraic expressions. So the question is, write the rational expression 3x minus 12 over 5x minus 20 in simplest form. So the answer here is A, 3 over 5. So the first thing that we can do is factor completely the numerator and the denominator. So the factor of 3x minus 12 is 3x minus 4. And then 5x minus 20 is 5x minus 4. So next is the separate and divide out common factors. So separate 3 over 5, then separate the x minus 4 and x minus 4. So next is we need to cancel the x minus 4, the numerator and the denominator. So the final answer here is 3 over 5. So that's all, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Good day everyone, I am Generous Gumen and I'll be discussing the Grade 8 Quarter 2 together with Arabella Baino. In this quarter, we provide 5-item questions. On those questions, it has its own topics. So number one, the topic na akong gipili is the differentiate linear inequalities into variables and linear equations into variables. So the question I formulated sa number 1 is the following expressions are examples of linear inequalities into variables. Except, so dili we are asked to identify asa sa tulo ka expression ang dili belong sa linear inequalities. A. X plus y is greater than or equal to 4. B. 13x minus 4y equals 21. C. 10y is greater than is less than 5x minus 15. So, which do you think is the answer? Right. It's letter B. So, why B? Why do you think B is the answer? Anong dili man siya belong sa linear inequality. So let's explore the definition of the meaning of linear inequality. So a linear inequality in two variables use inequality symbols. So other than the equal. So na sila gitawag na inequality symbols. So diyan na masuod si greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. Okay, which define a range of possible solutions and includes two distinct variables, x and y. So actually we can use another alphabetical letter such as A and B. We can use that. Also we can use Y and Z as long as it's alphabetical letter. But since X and Y is common siya sa mathematics, so we use X and Y. So next is the inequality symbols. So nakita diri no, say the symbols and its kanang name niya sa table. So next, so tuloy akong gi-provide na examples, but those are examples of linear inequality. As you can see, makita ninyo ang iyang symbols, di ba? Sa number 1, symbols niya is greater than, less than I mean. So yeah, linear inequality. Number 2, greater than. Number 3, greater than or equal to. So mauna siya sa usa sa factor na maka-identify ta na ang expression kay linear inequality, right? Next, so linear equations in two variables are written in the standard form of ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are real numbers and the coefficients of x and y, and a and b respectively are not equal to 0. So nakita na to sa linear equation na ang symbol is equal to. Yeah, equal to. So balik na sa linear inequality, sa ilan na to ang iyang symbols, inequality symbols rather, na greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and greater than, less than or equal to. Then sa linear equation, ang ilan na to is the iyang equal sign. Yeah. So balik na sa given. Yeah. So which the following expressions are examples of linear inequalities in two variables except diba B atong answer diri. So yes, that's correct. No, kasi B, ang expression ni B is linear equation siya, right? So ang gipangita man diri kay ang gikuan man diri kay mga linear equalities man ang mga examples din. Ang dili belong niya mo'y ipangita. So which is letter B.
Good day, I'm Arabella Baino and I will be the second one who will be discussing the second quarter. The topic is pattern and algebra geometry. So here are the question number 2. The question is graph linear inequalities in two variables. So I will show you the equation that we will be graphing today. The equation is 2x minus 1 less than or equal to 4. Before we graph the equation, we must really need to know on what process we will doing by graphing. And by graphing, we have 4 steps. So the first step is rewrite the inequality as an equation and solve for the intercepts. Step 2. Plot and draw the boundary line, solid line if the inequality is either greater than or equal or less than or equal, and broken line if the inequality is less than or greater than. So, ang step 2, ang imo yung mag-make na kag boundary line, ang imo ang tan-awon if kung solid ba siya, solid line ba siya, ang imo lang yung tan-awon if ang sign niya na ay equal. Like, na ay kuan ba siya greater than or equal or less than or equal. And also, ang imo ang tan-awon kung palitan broken line siya, imo siyang tan-awon sad ang sign if walay equal. So mao ra jud na ang imong pantayan equal or walay equal. So step 3, decide which half plane contains the solution set. Pick a test point that is one side of the boundary line. Use 0, 0 if possible. Replace x and y in the inequality with the coordinates of point. Step 4. If the resulting inequality is true, shade the side that contains the test point. If the resulting inequality is false, shade the other side of the boundary. And now we will be doing the step. So, the example equation is 2x minus y less than or equal to 4. So, the first step is rewrite the inequality as an equation. So, ang imuhang less than or equal, imuha rin siyang i-less than 2 into equal. So, mahimo na siyang 2x minus y equals 4. Rewriting the first step, katong 2x minus y equals 4. Ari na ta sa step 2. Solve and plot the intercepts. Bastang pangitawan gani kay x-intercept, let y equals to 0. Same sad, kung ang ato ang pangitawan is y-intercept, let x equals to 0. Imuha siyang i-substitute. Ani, para ani, di ba, 2x minus y equals 4 naman to. So, ang y, ang ato na siyang i-substitute into 0. So, may siyang 2x minus 0 equals 4. And then, 2x minus 0 is 2x equals 4. And then, ang divided to both sides by 2. So, cancel 2, mahabilin is x. And also, 4 divided by 2 equals to 2. So, ang atong x-intercept di ay is 2. After finding the x-intercept, which is 2, ay nasa namita sa y-intercept. So, 2x minus y equals 4. Same process rin siya ha. Ang x is substitute into 0, nagyapon siya. So, 2x substitute to 0 minus y equals to 4. 2 times 0 minus y is equals to negative y. And, na negative y man siya i-transpose sa 4. May siya y equals to negative 4. Ang atong y-intercept di ay is negative 4. And now, after the finding x-intercept and y-intercept, ay nata sa part na pick a test point, use 0, 0 if possible. Aring dapita, ato na siyang isolve if ang equation true ba or false. Now, 2x minus y less than or equal to 4, ang x, di ba, used to 0, 0 man ta. So, ang x and y substitute to 0. 2x substitute to 0, minus y substitute to 0, less than or equal to 4. So, 2 times 0 minus 0 is 0. So, ang equation, true din siya kay 0 less than or equal to 4. So, ang atong equation is true. After solving the y-intercept and x-intercept, we can now make a graph. Now, y-intercept is negative 4 and x-intercept is 2. Here, we can now plot. Ang first na tang i-plot is x-intercept. Now, ang x-intercept is 2. 2, 0. Ari, plot mo ito dali. Next is 0, 0, negative 4. Here. So, ang ato ang equation man no is 2x negative y less than or equal 4. So, ang iyang sign, naman siya equal. So, ang ato ang boundary line kay solid. Dili siya broken ha. Solid siya kay naman siya equal. Ito na siya. 0, 0, negative 4. Here. Diba, gisolve naman ito na ito ang equation. Yung result niya kay, ang result sa inequality is true. So, ang nasa last step 4, no, if the resulting inequality kay true, ang shaded side sa test point is sa babaw. If false, ari siya sa other side. So, mo man yang ato ang test point 0, 0. So, yang ang atong boundary line, na diri, mo niya ang boundary line. So, ang ingon, basta true gani siya, ang resulting sa inequality, ari ka sa mag-start sa test point. So, ang atong test point na diri, yung atong boundary line na diri, ang shaded part kay above. Okay. Ni ang ato ang shaded part. Therefore, ang ato ang boundary line is part siya sa solution. On to the next topic, illustrate a linear function. So before we move forward to the question, I will be first discussing a linear function. So, what is linear function? A linear function is a function that can be represented by a straight line on a graph. It has constant rate of change or slope and can be written in the form na x equals mx plus c, where ang y is the dependent variable output and ang x ay mao ang the independent variable na siya sa input, na siya sa salud sa graph niya. Ang m is the slope or rate of change. Ang ato ang c is the y-intercept, the point where the line crosses the y-axis. Determine whether the function is a linear function and why. So the first question is y equals 2x plus 1. Ang answer ani kay linear function. Why? This function is in the form of y equals mx plus c, where m is mao ang slope and c is the y-intercept. The highest power of x is 1, indicating a linear relationship. Number 2, f of x equals 5x. So, ang answer niya is linear because this function is also in the form of y equals mx plus c, where ang m kay equals to 5 and c equals to 0. Ang the highest power of x niya is 1, indicating a linear relationship. 3. Y equals 1 over x minus 2. Ang answer niya kay dili siya linear, not linear siya kay because this function has a term which x in kay naa siya sa denominator, making it a rational function. The highest power of x kay negative 1 from 1 over x, which is not 1, indicating it's not a linear function. Number 4, y equals x over 2 plus 1. Ang answer niya ay linear because this function can be written as y equals 1 over 2 plus 1, which is in the form y equals mx plus c. The highest power of x is 1. Kaya no, ang numerator naman x man niya, ang denominator kay 2. So, makuha na to na ang x kay 1. So, linear siya niya nga to ang highest point sa x kay 1 plus 1. F of x equals x to the power of 3 plus 1. Dili siya linear ang answer. Kay this function has a term not 1, no? Nag-indicate siya na dili siya na linear. So, dapat ang iyang x di ay kay ang to the power of x or ang highest point sa x kay 1 dili 3. I'm done with my discussion and thank you for listening.
Topic for number 4 is about solving problems involving linear equations into variables. So sa number 4, the sum of 4 times a larger integer and 5 times a smaller integer is 7. When twice the smaller integer is subtracted from 3 times the larger, the result is 11. So find the integers. What are those integers? So mauna si larger integer and smaller integer. So pangitao na to pila ang value ni larger integer and smaller integer. So step 1, we need to assign variables to the larger and smaller integer. So here we let x represent the larger integer and y represent the smaller integer. So sunod ato na i-apply si larger integer as x and si smaller integer as y. So we came up to this expression. So 4, ingat dito, the sum of 4 times a larger integer, atong larger integer is x, nagibutang na siya diha, represent na siya, then plus 5 times a smaller integer, siya is equals to or is 7. So is gani in mathematics, in mathematics is kay equal na siya. So manang equal ang gibutan diha is 7 equals 7. So the second sentence, when twice the smaller integer is subtracted from 3 times the larger integer, the result is 11. So mauni siya. The twice, yes, 3x minus 2y is 11. So kaning nga expression, kaning duha ka expression ato ni siya ito gani mo na to siyang equation 1 and equation 2 para maka-solve ta sa para maka-proceed ta sa next step. Yes. So, step 2 is to eliminate. Elimination method. So we'll let y, we need to eliminate the variable y first para makuha na to ang value sa x or the larger integer. So, do you think na makasimplify diyon ta? Right, like what do you observe? So, dili no, because of the numerical coefficient sa y. Kay if ato siya idayon-dayon o kuan, i-add na to both kay since atong gikuan man na elimination method man, so tanong sa dato iyang sign. So 5 ay so plus o minus, di ba? So atong ibuhat na is times na siya para ma-cancel out si or like ma-eliminate si y. Na since atong numerical coefficient man kay 5 and 2, so dili din ta ka proceed sa elimination, right? Dili din ta ka eliminate ni y. So ang buhaton na to ana is to multiply na i-multiply na to siya og something nga si y na nasa babaw sa equation 1 na y o sa equation 2 nga y kay same iyang numerical coefficient para maka-eliminate din ta sa y. So atong i-times ani nila kay 2 and 5. So ang makuha na to ani kay kani si 8. So as you notice na si y kay pwede na ma-cancel out or ma-eliminate. Right? Pwede na siya ma-eliminate. Same na iyang kuan. Then, ang gamito na itong operation to eliminate y is positive. Right? Positive. So, 8 plus 15 is equals to 23. Then, 23. Then, 10 minus 10 plus y is equal to 0, right? Then 14 plus 55 is equal to 69. And next is to so to get the value of y, we need to multiply each both sides. I-multiply na to siya o 1 over 23 para ma-cancel ni si 23 tapat sa x. Or like, mahibili na kay 1 na lang. So, muna na siya ang forma. So, makancel na to si 23 over 23. Kay 23 over 23 is 1, right? So, muna may bilhin si x. Then, equals 29 over 23 divided by 29 divided by 23 is equals to 3. Then, the next step is to using back substitution. So we can use either equation 1 and equation 2. Pili ka kung asa ka mas comfy or like asa mas dali bitaw. So as for me, akong gipili kay ang equation 2. So ato na substitute si x as 3. So man ni siya 3 times 3 equals 2y minus 2y equals 11. So 9, simplify, may mo siyang 9 minus 2y minus 11. Then si y, i-transposed siya left sa right side, manang nahimo siyang negative 9. So, simplify, nahimo siyang 2. So, negative 2y equals 2. Then, multiply na sa tawag 1 over negative 2 para ma-cancel out ma-cancel out ang numerical coefficient sa y. So, man, may bilhin si y equals negative 1. So, therefore, the larger integer is 3 and the the smaller integer is negative 1. Yeah. Right. So the last question is about graph the linear functions into variables. So itong function there is f of x equals 4x plus 4. So we ask to find the domain and range, level of values, intercepts, and the slope. So first, we need to find the domain and range. Diba? So it states here that if a function is defined by f of x equals mx plus b, where m or the slope is not equal to 0, Then the domain or the denote as D of the function is the set of real numbers, and the range R of the function is the set of real numbers. So in symbol, so this symbol reads as the domain of the function is the set of all x such that x is an element of the set of real numbers, while the second symbol reads as the range of the function is the set of all y such that y is an element of the set of real numbers. So let's look back at the linear function. So as you can see, the function here, since that the function here is in the form of fx equals mx plus b, therefore the function, the domain and range of the function are both the set of real numbers. Therefore, the domain of the function is the set of all x such that x is an element of the real numbers, while the range is the set of all functions such that the set of all y such that y is an element of the set of real numbers. Kuha na nato si A. So let's go for letter B, the table of values. So to create the table of values, we need to choose some values of x and compute the corresponding y values using the equation, the function we are going to graph. Kato siya. So atong gi-choose nga value sa x is -2, -1, and 0. So these values ako siya gi-substitute na ko siya sa x. So mao na ni ihang solution. So solution, then the answer is sa pag-substitute sa x equals -2, ang answer na niya is 2. Then sa x equals -1, the answer is 3, and sa 0 is 4. So nanatay table of values. Sa pag-upload sa C, intercept. So find the x and y intercepts. So sa pagpangita na to sa x-intercept, we need to let si y as 0. While in finding the y-intercept, we need to let x be the 0. So that is nanadiya ang solution na kita for x-intercept. So gi-y na to si kuan. Ang y na to is 0. So atong answer for x-intercept is -4. While for y-intercept, atong answer diri is 4. So next is the slope. So yes, the slope. So identify the slope m and the y-intercept b. So sa equation sa atong function nga given na to, ang slope na to is 1. Right? So si x, ang tapat ni x ana kay naman na siya 1 diya. Invisible lang siya. Pero na siya 1 diya. So manang ang slope na to is 1 and atong y-intercept is b. So first, we need to plot the y-intercept. So since si y kay naaman siya sa 4, so meaning atong x is 0 na siya. So how to plot those saan man na to siya pag-plot? So, ang next step ani is to plot the y-intercept. Ang y-intercept na to is naa diri nakalocate since atong 0 as atong x kay 0 man, so diri ra ta mag-plot na. So na diri atong 0, 4. So next is to find the remaining ordered pair niya. So how? So naa siya duha ka pamaagi. Ang first katong table of values and using the slope formula. So ang slope formula mo atong si rise over run. Since atong rise kay 1 man, so atong atong run put is 1. Na naman siya imaginary 1 sa denominator, kaya mo na siya. So by doing this ay mo ni ang kuan sa rise ni siya, mo ni ang kuan sa run. So since rise mo na siya, pa-add tag usa diri, add tag 1 then add po tag 1 sa run, so diri. So i-locate na sad na to, o na natin diri, na diri ang taga ni ang ordered pair. Then another na sad, mag-add na sa ta diri kay pasaka na sad 1, then add na sa ta diri kay pakuan ana na siya para right, I mean. So ano siya, so ato na siya i-connect ang mga ordered pair. So inanion mo siya pag-plot. We can also use table of values. So ako katong gipakita no ganina ako to is what ha, saman to x, y, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So saman to ganina plus 4. So isolve. So 2. So okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wala na siya. So to plot these sa tawag ni points, so sugod to sa negative 2, and 2. So na ni sa negative 1 and 3 na diri. So si 1 and 4 katatong tawag ani kanang center, right? So sunod si 1 and 5. Diba? So pwede ra po 2, 6. Pero na siya. So i-connect na to siya tanan. So same ra gyapon ang answer niya sa slope. So pwede ra jud mapili ka aning duha. So that will be all. Thank you.
My name is Rachel and Reyes, and I will be the one to discuss the third quarter of grade 8. So here I have a question number 1. In the figure triangle POG is congruent to triangle SOR. What is the side corresponding to line segment PO? So here we can see that these two triangles is connected with each other. So triangle POG and is congruent with triangle SOR. So what would you think is the answer? So the answer would be is letter D, SO. So when we say corresponding, it means corresponding side, it's the same with same positions and the same measure. So here the two polygons, which is the tooth triangle, is just the same with the same measure and the same with line. So it measure. So here. Also, when we say corresponding sides is just that sides are just the same with any positions in two-dimensional shapes, or just yes. So here we can see that line segment PO is just the same with the line segment SO. So the answer would be letter D, line segment SO. So let's move on to the second question. Here's the second question of the third quarter, which is the statements and the reasons. So given the line segment AB is congruent with line segment BE, and angle B is congruent with angle E, And also, line segment BC is congruent with the line segment EF. So here we can see the two. I don't think so that it's triangle, but yeah. So triangle ABC is congruent with DEF, triangle DEF. So here in the statement number 1, we can see line segment AB is congruent with line segment DE. And also the reason is given. Okay, na naman siya din makita naman dyan sa given nga mo yung gihatag, so mausad ang gibutang, so the reason is given. And the second one is just the same with the first and the third one, the last one. So angle B is congruent with angle E. Line segment BC is congruent with line segment EF. So the same ra sila o ganang reason, which is the given. Kaya maura man sa nang ipangita. So given. So here we can see triangle ABC is congruent with triangle DEF. So if you think nganong nahimo siyang SAS postulate, kay atong pangitaon first is the line segment AB is congruent with DE. So mo ni siya. And then the second one is the angle B is congruent with angle E. So we need to find the angle B and also the angle E. So here we can see angle B and angle E. And the third one is line segment BC is congruent with the line segment EF. So very easy ra kayo if mo find ta sa mga postulate theorem. So here and here. So and the fourth one statement, it says that it is the reason of SAS postulate. It means side angle by side. Side angle side postulate. So that's why. So let's move on to the third example. So here's the number 3 of the question in third quarter. So in triangle DOS, what side is included between angle D and angle O? So here, so we can see ang iyang gipangita unsay maapil sa kaning side, So namay siya given, which is the angle D and the angle O. So here the possible answer, so which is letter A, the line segment of DO, which is kani ba? Or the DS, the line segment DS, kani bang pikas? Or balisad siya, letter C, bali ba siya? Or letter D, the line segment of SO, so which is kani siya diri dapita. Ang atong gipangita is included, the word included between angle D and angle O. So here, we can differentiate kung asa jud ani nila sa triangle. Kay na naman gihatag naman ang given nga angle D ug ang angle O. So it means kani nga side, this side is included between sa angle D ug angle O. So thus the answer would be line segment of DO. So letter A ang answer.
So, hello everyone, good day. This is Miss May, and I will continue discussing about the third quarter, which is a topic about geometry. So, in my topic, you'll be able to, at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to learn about the 4 components of mathematical system. So, now, before we know about the 4 mathematical system, so let's start with the question. So first, it's important to read the directions. So read and analyze each statement and choose the correct answer. So for number 1, we have the following are the components of mathematical system except letter A, defined terms, B, theorems, C, sequences, and D, postulates. So what do you think is not the components of mathematical system? Correct, it's letter C, sequences. So what are the four components of mathematical system? So here are the following. We have the undefined terms, the defined terms, postulates, and theorems. So first, let's define what is undefined terms. So undefined terms are the terms that cannot be defined but can be described. So we have here the points in the first illustration, and then second we have line and plane. So that are the examples of undefined terms. So next we have defined terms. So what are these defined terms? So these are the terms that has proper definition and can be defined. So we have examples. We have the line segments in the first illustration, which we also have its midpoint of a segment. And then next we have the ray, a point in the bottom and continuous line ahead. And then the angles, which we also have vertex. The vertex is the intersection of both lines that made the both lines angles. So next we have the angle bisector or bisector of an angle. That it is a line that bisects the angles. Then we have perpendicular lines. These are the lines that intersects. So before we proceed to the third and fourth components of mathematical system, let's have another question. So number 2, inside the basketball court, there are two people standing on the same horizontal line. One person is standing at the upper line while the other person is in the lower line. The two people looks like the points of a line. In what postulate that proves the situation? Letter A, plane postulates. Letter B, line postulates. C, parallel postulates. And D, pointed postulates. So what do you think is the postulate that proves the situation? You're right, it's letter B, line postulate. So let's proceed to the third component of mathematical system, which is the postulate. So there we have the line postulate. Actually, we have three of it, and we have it line postulates, plane postulates, and parallel postulates. So first we will tackle about line postulates. Postulate 1, there are 2 points contained in exactly one line. So let's go back to the problem or to the situation in number 2. There state that there were 2 people standing on the same horizontal line. So as we can observe, we can consider that the 2 people standing on the same line are the points of a line. So that proves the postulate 1 in line postulates. So let's proceed to postulate 2. A line contains infinitely many points. Postulate 3. If 2 points of a line lie in a plane, then the line lies in the same plane. Now let's proceed to the plane postulates, which talks about planes, as simple as that. So postulate 4, any 3 points lie in at least one plane, and any 3 non-collinear points lie in exactly one plane. Postulate 5, if 2 different planes intersect, their intersection is a line. Then postulate 6, we have the angle measurement postulates, or the AMP, that states that the measure of an angle is a real number between 0 and 180 degrees. And postulate 7, linear pair postulate. It states that if 2 angles formed a linear pair, then they are supplementary. And let's proceed to the parallel postulates, the last part of postulates. Postulate 8, given a line and a point not on the line, there is exactly one line through the point parallel to the given line. And postulate 9, if 2 parallel lines are not by a transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent. So that's all for the postulate. Now let's proceed to the fourth components of mathematical system. We have the theorems. So all right angles are congruent. So for example, the box. So box has 4 right angles. Then all of the angles are congruent because it is all right angles. Next, vertical angles are congruent. Next, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternate interior and alternate exterior angles are congruent. Next, if two parallel lines are cut out by a transversal, then the exterior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. And for the last, if two parallel lines are cut out by a transversal, then here the interior angles on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So before we end the discussion, let's have a small recap. So what are the four components of mathematical system? So we have undefined terms, defined terms, postulates, and theorems. So undefined terms are the terms that cannot be defined but can be described. We have the example line, points, and plane. Then defined terms, the example of defined terms are line segments, angles, rays, and perpendicular lines. Then third and fourth components of mathematical system is postulates and theorems. So that's all for my discussion. I hope you understand something, you learn something, and will use it to your future discussion also. So that'll be all. Again, this is Miss May, and that's all for my discussion, and thank you for watching.
Good day, everyone. So our topic for today is a line in statistic and probability of 4th grading, grade 8 students. So our topic is all about sample space. Sample space is the set of all possible outcomes for a probability experiment or activity. So in example, we will be tossing a coin. In tossing a coin, there will be only two probabilities, head and tail. So if we will be going to toss a coin 2 times, there are four matches or all possible out results. So there will be only head head, head tail, tail head, and tail tail. And this all possible results is called sample space. Here in our first activity, list the sample space for the following experiment. So the first experiment is getting an even number in single roll of a die. So the choices would be A, 1, 2, 3, B, 2, 4, 6, C, 3, 4, 5, and D, 4, 6, 3. So how we'll be able to identify the sample space of getting an even number in a single roll of a die? So here is the solution. Again, in getting an even number in a single of a die, there will be 6 possible outcomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And since it is specified that we will be only getting an even number, so here is the 2, 4, 6. So the sample space of getting an even number in a single roll of a die is 2, 4, 6, which is letter B. In our experiment number 2, picking odd number balls from a box with 10 balls numbered from 1 to 10, we will be able to have 10 possible outcomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So A would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, which is stated of the sample space. Second, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. D is 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So again, we will be looking for the sample space in picking odd numbers only balls from a box with 10 balls numbered from 1 to 10. So here is the solution. Again, we will be listing the all possible outcomes in picking odd number balls from a box with 10 ball numbers from 1 to 10. Again, we are specifically looking for odd numbers to list the sample space of this second experiment. So, the odd numbers would be 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. So, the sample space of picking odd number balls from a box with 10 balls numbered from 1 to 10 is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, which is letter C.
So, good evening everyone. My name is Naisel Jane Tenido. I'll be going to give you a quiz. 3 questions, and you'll have 5 minutes time to answer each questions. So This is all about the chapter 4 of the grade 8 levels under the geometric. It is theorems on triangles and equalities, exterior angle and inequality, particularly in inequality theorem. So here, as you notice, there is a triangle, a figure of a triangle. So I have a provided questions. You should use this figure to answer